What's up, everybody? Rot here. Just wanted to give a little update on the Squarebody. I haven't forgot about the old girl. I'm still waiting on the engine from the machine shop. He's making progress on it, but it's whatever. We told him we're not in a hurry for it. Obviously, this engine needs to come out first, and that hasn't happened yet, so absolutely not in a rush. No big deal. I need to ask some friends if they might be interested in this thing. Figure out where it needs to go. I just opened the hood. I'm trying to plot my course. I'm going to be using a Harrison AC compressor. Harrison, the pancake one. It's been done before with other, mainly like Jeeps and stuff. I'm using it for onboard air. I'm not going to get crazy into detail on it. I know it can be done. It's been done. And like even like Motor Trend, they've done write-ups on it. Just trying to plot where I want to put things. Compressor's going to be up here. I have the bulkhead, manifold, whatever you want to call it, that bolts to the compressor, and I've cut the AC lines off. So it's just going to have basically a breather, pull air into the compressor and then out through a check valve into lines and all that good stuff. I have a 5-gallon, one of the little portable air tanks. That's going to go outside of this frame rail back under the bed. Roughly where the auxiliary fuel tank would be if it had one. Just the best spot I could think to put it. I'll have to make up some brackets and that sort of stuff. But I'm going to have a distribution block here and one back at the tank. My idea is there's going to be pressure switches and safety valves and all that stuff here, there, wherever. I haven't figured out if I'm going to put an air chuck like right here at the block, leave it under the hood, or if I want to run it out here somewhere. I don't want to go through the top of the bumper because eventually I'd really like one of the CUCV, like M1008, M1009 brush guards. It's on the list that I definitely want for this truck. So eventually we will have one of those. So I don't want anything at the top of the bumper. I haven't figured out if I could send it out the grill or down low somewhere maybe. Or it would probably be easier just to put the truck right there. Whatever. I'm going to get like 50 feet of airline and run from this block back to the tank, and then I'm going to run a small line into the cab for an air gauge. I'll elaborate on that setup a little more. A couple switches I have figured out, but I want air at the front and the rear of the truck. The front, looking at it here in person, it's probably going to be easier just to have the truck in here under the hood. It's protected. I don't got to worry about getting water in it and getting corroded, what have you. I guess it kind of wouldn't since it's brass. Whatever, you get the idea. But there'll be air up here. I'm going to run back to the tank, back to the rear bumper. Whatever's left will be my air hose to get from here to tires or whatever I need to do. This was going to be the primary battery for the LS, since it's on this side out of the gate, I guess. Um, it's just going to be factory set up with the small block now anyway. So that'll go back to being the primary. This will be an auxiliary. Mainly for, I'll run like lights, accessories, that sort of stuff. I thought about, I really don't want to mess up this perfectly good A-pillar or crack my windshield or anything, but I thought about putting my Crown Vic spotlight in here somewhere. Haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but it'll probably end up happening because this cab is, she ain't looking too good. Down the road I could find another cab or body swap something else onto it. Thought it'd be really cool, if I have a really solid running gear, I could put a 67 to 72 on it. That would be kind of awesome, but whatever. We have a long way to go before we get there. But yeah, I'm going to have the air tank is going to be under the bed somewhere, and got my trailer connector here that I may get a new one, just simply because I don't know, we'll get there eventually. And then I'm going to have some sort of setup here where there'll be an air chuck right there. The bumper pull is going to go. It is a solid bumper. I could probably pull with it. With the amount of rust, I don't know. Now, my bumper, if you've seen any of the other videos, you see I painted it. It was silver. So I did the top in flat black and the bottom in white, obviously. But now, sitting outside, just not cleaning it or anything, it looks like it's been on there a while, which is what I want. I had started to put marker lights up here. The little 3/4 LED guys are not going to work in this, so I got to figure out some other sort of lights to put there. That's not critical. Also wanted to figure out some sort of LED tail lights. I had this out because I was thinking about this had a third brake light up here. I was like, okay, I'll just get brake light signal from here. And then, dummy me realized you can't do that. You pull brake light from this side, it's going to blink with the left turn signal on. Because the brake light, the signal from the brake light switch goes from there directly into the turn signal switch. So you have left turn brake and right turn brake. There's no just brake light signal back here. So I just busted the light off. The truck never had one, so it's not required for me to add one. Yeah. Anywho, I guess not much else going on back here. I've got a bunch of TBI stuff in there I can't use anymore. I gotta figure out what to do with it. Yeah, back to the onboard air. Right here where the AC vent is going to be, that's where I'm going to route an air pressure gauge, a warning buzzer, and the toggle switch to turn it on and off. Obviously, it's going to need a pressure switch to turn the AC clutch, or the air compressor in our case, on and off. But I'm also using another slightly higher pressure switch to work a warning buzzer. Now, and there's a bunch of other stuff I got to figure out where to put in here. We'll get into that another day. So out here there's going to be one pressure switch in line with the plug for the clutch. And I think that one is like a 75 to 105. So anything under 75 psi, it turns the compressor on. And then anything equal to or over 105, it shuts it off. So it'll say you got nothing in the tank, no pressure, whatever, starting from nothing. Flip the switch on, it turns the compressor on, and it'll run until we reach 105 psi. And then you're using it, whatever, it'll stay off until you get down to 75, if that makes sense. So trying to find a pressure switch as a high pressure warning was, I was finding it pretty tricky. So what I am going to do, I have a higher switch, same way, that's set to turn off at 115, I think, because the maximum pressure on the tank is 125. So I'm going to have safety valves and this warning buzzer at 115. So it shouldn't go above 105 per the pressure switch, but if it goes up, for whatever reason it doesn't shut off, what have you, it'll give me a warning at 115, hey, you need to open this thing up or shut it off or something. So it's going to be that pressure switch. Once it turns off at 105, that will trigger a relay. So anything up to 105, the relay is going to be on. Once the relay turns off, I'm trying to make sure I'm wording this correctly. It works in my head. A normal 5-pin relay, you have a normally open, normally closed. So the normally open, let me think. The relay is on, nothing happens. Once the relay's off, then the normally closed circuit activates the buzzer, if that makes sense. Maybe I'll just show it off, when it's together, so I don't look as much like an idiot. But I also have some other stupidity planned, which I'll touch on later. But that's where we're at for right now. Nothing has happened. I'm just plotting other supporting things. Along with the onboard air, I've got to figure out a fuel system. You can see my coil of primary wire there. That is power to the fuel pump, which right now is set up for TBI. It's like, I don't know, like 12 psi. That's obviously going to be too much for a carburetor, and the engine is no longer, it's going to be making a little too much power for the TBI to handle. So I've got to either go regulate that down for a carburetor, or I have a sending unit that I was going to roll with this guy, 60 psi, and I could get like a Holley Sniper EFI. I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. We'll see what happens. If I can get this sold, I could buy the EFI. But we'll see what happens. we got a long ways to go before we get to fuel delivery. So anyway, that's pretty much where I'm at. Sorry for the long video about nothing, but hopefully my rambling about my onboard air setup made sense. Obviously it's not here yet, but I think it'd be pretty cool. I guess that does it for that video. Well, thank you all for watching. We'll catch you next time.